So, is Big Baby ready for the big time? I'm Teekosey, and this is with just 15 defeats. Teekosey here, and you're watching another round of With Just 15 Defeats. Today's show we're going to be discussing Jarrell Miller's latest KO victory. So I just want to say thanks for joining me on this channel. If you like the content, please hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button. Check out the channel, have a look at some of my other content, previews and reviews, and a little bit of discussion about this and that, i.e. the Povetkin drugs test, things like that. We've got a lot of good content on the channel, so I'd appreciate you dropping by. And if you've got any comments, you know where to find those comment sections. So, yep, this is just a real quick video to talk about Jarrell Miller. He fought Nick Guivas on Friday night, and it was a very quick night's work for him. 2 rounds stoppage win, following a number of big body shots. So the fight itself was fairly straightforward. Miller just walked down Guivas from the get-go and was landing shots at will, mainly devastating body shots, quite powerful and hurtful shots. And Nick Guivas was taken down on a number of occasions before the fight was waved off. I don't think we learnt a lot from this fight, to be honest. We didn't really learn anything. We just learnt that Miller's a powerful puncher and that he also has body shots to his arsenal, which a lot of the heavyweight guys don't necessarily have. So that was good. Miller came in quite heavy. We discussed this in the preview, that he seems to fluctuate in weight quite dramatically. In this fight, he was heavier than his last fight, up at 283, so quite a big guy. But he is quite a big guy. He doesn't look flabby like some of the other guys that weigh up in the higher values, but he was still big. And I think we can all say that it would be good for him to just reduce some of that weight, because what I took from this, which there wasn't really much to take from it because it was so one-sided, but he was quite slow and ponderous. Yes, he was walking down his opponent, who was significantly smaller, but he was just plodding around the ring, and a better, more agile, more skilled opponent may have been able to get away from him. He wouldn't have been able to cut the ring off as well as he did, and effectively in the end Guivas kind of just let Miller kind of at him at will, and the body shots just were sickening for him. So what did I say in the preview video? Just to recap, I said it was going to be a massive size mismatch, and that's what it was. Over 50 pounds in weight, few inches in height. It was a real big mismatch. I said not to expect much from Guivas. Guy hardly threw a shot. I said that he might have something about him for 2 to 3 rounds. It went 2 rounds, but he didn't really put up much of a fight. I said, and this was it, I said that Miller would stalk. I said Miller, I use those words, I said Miller would stalk Guivas to the conclusion, and that's what happened. And I said my prediction was that Miller would get a 3rd round stoppage. Only went the 2, but there you go. You can't be perfect. So there you go. So Miller moves on. He called out all of the big guys after the fight: Wilder, Fury, Klitschko. He won't get any of those guys. He's calling them out, which is great. But we all know that when someone calls out the bigger fish, rarely do they get them. Rarely do they get them, because the big guys have their own agenda, whether that's money or way of managing their titles. And I think Miller is the risk to reward ratio is is not great for the top guys. I don't think the top guys are going to make a great deal of money fighting him, because Miller, whilst he kind of has that, is a bit of an enigma. He doesn't really, he's not bringing the money. He doesn't bring the money. He hasn't really fought anyone at professional boxing terms yet, so he's not bringing the money. And the fact is that we know that Miller can be a devastating puncher. We know that he's a fighter. Not a lot of these guys. A lot of the American guys that are out there, these Brazil, Washington, these guys, they might be great boxers. They may well achieve, but are they real legitimate fighters like Miller? Probably not. So the risk-reward ratio doesn't favour the top guys, and I think he's going to struggle. I think he'll struggle to get top opponents unless he can get under the skin of someone, or unless he can get in, or gets to mandatory position. I think he's going to struggle to get a top guy. But anyway, that's just what I think. Good luck to him, and I hope to see him. I hope he gets a decent opponent in the next fight. It'd be nice to see him step up, take a step up to a decent level. But anyway, good luck to Jarrell Miller, and we'll see him in the next fight. And I've been Teekosey. Leave your comments below, and we'll see you in the next round.